real so relationship with money. I really wanted to take a moment to talk about it because it's been something that I feel like today was kind of a wake up call. Um, so I was doing, school financial aid stuff, and um, uh, 2 years ago, I was off the books entirely. And that was really interesting. And I kind of, I've been recording my monthly finances in terms of what I make and how much I spend for the past almost 4 years now. With that being said, it's been a big blessing and helped me a lot with understanding where I'm at with my spending and feeling more in control and aware of my currency. So I wanted to talk about my relationship with money because currency, it is a flowing state of energy that does enable you to do things. But it's one of the ways that can enable you to do things. Never let your lack of money be the reason that you don't do something. Because I have this suspicion that if you really want to do something and energetically put that out there, not I really want to, I should say, but if it aligns with where your where your soul is resonating at and what you're supposed to do, then the money will come and you will do what you're here to do. And so I've been, I guess, a sneaking suspicion that money really isn't that important. It's really, of course, what you do with it. It's what you spend it on. And I guess my relationship with money, I've been exploring how I've opened myself up to receive it and what that looks like. Of course, generally speaking, a good rule of thumb is that you always want to be almost at a perfect balance to the amount you are receiving to spending. And I feel like for the most part, I've been doing a really good job of that. In fact, I would say that in terms of being balanced, I'm almost at $0 in my bank account, which I'm like, where is this money going? It just goes in and out, and I'm just like, well, great, this flow is really going, and hopefully it's making some wise investments that will pay off and allow me to make even greater investments in the future. I know that I'm not going to need money when I die. And quite frankly, the lifestyle I want to live, hopefully I won't need money much at all. I want to be pretty self-sufficient and have a community that supports one another. But that's besides the point. I really wanted to just focus on that relationship with money. And right now, I'll be honest, say that I want to throw up. It makes me feel like weird and icky, and was one of the reasons why I felt so nervous about going back to school, because this narrative that I'd be a broke college student really rung in my mind. So anyways, I guess you could say that I'm still working on my relationship with money, but I have learned a lot, and I wanted to make this video because I do feel like some big breakthroughs have happened and have helped me understand what money really is and how I've been using it and how I can use it more wisely. First off, I got a credit card. And I should start off by saying I am terrified of the idea of debt. For whatever reason, when I was a wee lad just beginning my journey of working at the ripe age of 12, didn't get on payroll until I was 16. Anyways, I remember that I got my first debit card to pay for my phone plan, and that was really cool. I would start off by saying that I had really bad financial habits. I didn't check my bank account. In fact, I didn't link it to the app. Maybe it's because I had a flip phone, and I didn't really feel like going to the bank every time to wonder how much money I had. And so I would often find myself overdrawing and getting fined for taking more that was in my checkings account than was actually there. So there was that. Now, I've learned that it's important to keep track of your money because somebody else will keep track of it better than you, and then you'll have no choice but to give it to them. So, I've gotten into the habit of checking my accounts regularly to kind of check, as well as fraud is a thing, and sometimes without realizing it, somebody will log into your Amazon account somehow and charge $200 worth of Nintendo Switch games that you didn't realize until around a week, or in my case, 2 days later. So, being aware of these things is really important to know where your money is at. And I will be honest, before I started checking more regularly my account balance, I would be so scared because I had a history of getting charged for overdrafting and over, fines and stuff like that. And it just was scary. And I just felt super tense and didn't want to do it because it felt like a chore that it was going to bring down my mood. And I didn't realize this for a while until I started actively checking my account. And it was weird, but the fear and the anticipation of these bad emotions just kind of dissipated. And I realized, like, oh wow, the money's not just gonna magically leave my account if I don't do something. Like, I have to go out there and buy something, and that's where it's going. And then that's where it's going. So if I just keep track and I know where it's going, then I won't have to have this. For now, I should start off by saying it's like a game. I feel no fear when I check my account. It's more like I'm excited because I've gotten so good at kind of calculating, okay, I have this much, and if I spend this is how much I'll have left to the cent. I like to record to the cent, and that way I have a more accurate idea of how much I have. And I feel like that's one of the biggest ways I've taken accountability for my life, is just by taking an accountability of my money and taking that into account of how much I'm spending and how much I'm earning and all that. Now, I'll be honest. I don't know how I don't know how I don't know how I have the amount of money I do in my bank account right now. And I say that in a neutral place. One of well, you kind of had a lot more last year if we're comparing the two, and the year before that as well. But a lot of investments were made, such as this computer, which was an amazing investment that has paid itself off. Investments have helped me a lot with understanding where to put my money. And I am kind of a fiend when it comes to online courses. I'll be honest, and I'll give straight up advice. I've spent like $1,700 on online courses in the span of my life so far. And that was for 2 online courses. And I'm still participating pretty actively in one. The other one, honestly, I just have no motivation to go look at it, but I should, because I spent $1,200 on it when I was 19 years old and was still working a pretty steady job, and thought, why the heck not? And then less than 6 months later, I decided to quit my job because I felt like I could do the same thing and provide a lot more value for $1,200 than that course. But what I will say is that I am taking like a free course right now. And I guess there was a selection process, but it's probably the best course I've ever taken because it's more structured like a challenge. And there's not much. It's open source, and that's why it's free. And I love open source, and it's inspiring me a lot. So You bet your bottom dollar bill that I am going to be creating some more open source courses in the future that will be free for all, accessible. But here's the thing, I have provided free courses before, and people don't always value them. They don't finish them, and I think overall they just don't value them as much. So, it depends on what kind of course I'm thinking about giving. Like, I would say if it's something about financial freedom, I'm not going to gatekeep that because I want people to make money. Sheesh, I'm trying to figure out here, so there's that. And I think we should all have the ability to be abundant in whatever we choose to do. So things like my branding branch business, which is all about branding and building a personal brand, that's probably going to be free. I mean, to be honest, for 1.5 years, we had free weekly meetings and workshops, and that was really fun, and I learned a lot. So, yeah. But I do have kind of an idea of how to structure that, like in terms of how to make sure that the membership itself would provide value and the members within it would value it. And that would be that each new member would have to pay a percentage more than the member before them. And this way, you would kind of see as the price grows from like $7 to, let's say, $70, there would be this understanding that, wow, the more people that join this, the more valuable it becomes. So you become a part of the value in that business model. I like business models. I like creating businesses. I realize that it's something really fun, but executing on businesses is another thing. A whole different ball game, because anybody can have a great business idea, but unless you actually do the work to, create it, it's not really that valuable. Unless you find somebody who's just has a lot of energy and is raring to go and will do whatever it takes, and then you give them that idea, maybe they take it and run and it becomes a great success. But that's on them for doing the work. You gotta do things and get it out of your head. My mom has told me before, like, you have so many ideas. And I decided I'm gonna write them down in what I call a business idea book. And so I have a documents whenever I have like a crazy idea, like a nudist farm restaurant, that, okay, maybe I'll just put this inside of the business idea book. And we'll revisit it if we like find success in another business to the point of where it's automated and running itself smoothly enough for me to feel bored and like I want to start another business. The biggest lesson I've learned is that you actually have to do things, and you can't just say. You can say, and it depends. Like, you can even tell people, but you gotta tell the right people. Like, people that will either give you money, resources, or their skills. Okay, resources involves knowledge, their network, tools that will help you create what you want. So, yeah. So my relationship with money. I feel like it is scary how comfy I've gotten with God taking care of me at this point. Let me tell you, back in, I believe, 2019, it's around 2019, I believe, where God said, you do not have to worry about money. Do not worry about money. From this day forward, do not worry about money. And I have not. Let me tell you, we go up, we go down, and I'm just sitting there watching like, wow, how am I going to do this? I'm gonna do it because I know I can. So yeah, I got a credit card. I think I might have a little bit of an attention problem, guys. We went on a rant there. Anyways, I got a credit card, and I haven't used it yet because I'm scared of debt. Now, from my understanding, a credit card is just, they give you an amount of money that you can use, and you gotta pay them back on time. Because technically you're indebted to the creditors that gave you the money, and they expect interest. So there's that. And I don't know about you, but like, as I said, man, since I've started going to school again. I said I was a broke college student, but one thing I'm not is a student in debt. Thank the Lord Jesus. Hallelujah. Why? Because I wouldn't go to school if it meant taking a loan and going in debt. I don't know why, what traumatized me along my younger years, whatever it was, before I even went to school, before I even enrolled in university. I was like, I will not go to higher education if that means I have to go in debt. That's it. I'm sorry. If I can't find a way to pay every single semester, then we're done. So that's kind of the motto. And at the time, I realized that there was fear. There was fear. All right. I don't know how else to say this other than the fear was there and it was intense. Like, I don't know what I thought was gonna happen if I went in debt at the time, or why I was so adamant about being like, absolutely not. I don't think that higher education is worth going $40,000 a semester in debt, which obviously it's not. It absolutely is not. You can find the same resources that they teach you in class for free online. But at the end of the day, it's up to you. Now, for some people, that debt is motivation for them to make money. For other people, it may just be a depressing state of being. But still, depression is a motivative way to do something. So this credit card, right? So I guess I'm a little bit nervous about spending it because I've heard horror stories of people that max out their credit cards, use credit cards to pay off credit cards, just I don't know why horror stories just come to my mind, but like people just like the interest really gets them, and they're just like a slave and they can't do anything, and it's crazy. Their credit score is so bad that they can't even live in their house. I don't know, guys. This is what goes on in my head. And so yeah, I still have some work to do again. My relationship with money is a work in progress. Just saying these things out loud, it's making me laugh because it's like, wow, okay, Esther, really? You think that people with credit cards are literally going to have to pay it off even when they're dead or something like that? Okay, that's not true. And I know that actually you can use credit, you can use debt wisely in a way that actually helps you grow. If you do invest your resources and what you have wisely, then hypothetically, let's say I didn't have any seeds and I had, dirt underneath my feet that I lived on, and I didn't have any seeds. Well, I'd have to borrow seeds from someone else. Then when I borrow those seeds from someone else, maybe the interest is that they want 5 seeds back for every month that I have borrowed the seeds. So at first I'd probably be freaking out because I'm like, you gave me 5 seeds and you want 5 seeds back for every seed every month? Okay, well, that's kind of insane because that's 25 seeds. But then once I plant them and they grow, I see that I can actually pay off my debt in one fruit, and I have a abundance of fruit that I can then share with my loved ones, indulge in myself, and that's beautiful. So I see that there is a wise way to use this idea of debt. And I'm allowing myself to relax in this understanding that, okay, my head's like, oh my gosh, but what if none of the seeds pollinate and they don't germinate and you got no plants and it's just a bad season? Well, girl, listen, There are other resources out there. Go buy a fruit. It's gonna be rough, but then you got more seeds, and then you can plant them in the ground. I don't know, man. I think there's always a way. Where there's a will, there's a way. And right now, I will allow myself to invest wisely in not only my future, but I realize that I feel this responsibility in the community that I'm in the space that I inhabit, in the world that I live in, to invest so that I can help not just myself, but everybody that I interact with ever or have never interacted with. Again, it's weird, but that's how I feel. And not like, I think everybody feels that way to an extent, though, right? Yeah. So yeah, my relationship with money at this point, I don't worry about it. Like right now, again, I would say that comparing to the past, my bank account is pretty low, but I know that I am safe and I am secure, and I am so thankful for that. I have everything I've ever wanted, and I'm so thankful for that. So, what is money? What is my relationship with money? Why do I feel the need to improve it? Because I realize I'm still kind of scared. Like, if somebody gave me a large amount of money today, I would have a very hard time accepting it. Why? Because I'm scared that A, they would expect something of me that I just could not deliver. Imposter syndrome. Hi, how are ya? And I would just flop and it would be horrible. I just be like, oh, wow, this is a lot of money. You must have a lot of faith in me that I don't have in myself. Well, you can have it back. Yeah, so I'm saying this because this is where I'm at, and I really wanted to address my relationship with money because I know that it's shifting right now. I know that it's transforming and becoming something much more positive. I have to acknowledge where I'm coming from. And so this is where I'm coming from. So yeah, imposter syndrome is a thing. I get a little not nervous when people send me money. I feel like I don't always show appreciation in the best way because I'm kind of like freaking out. I'm like, what do you want from me now? Like, did I sell my soul to you? Like, why are you giving me money? Like, what do I have to do for you to give me money? Like, what? And again, a part of me is like, I didn't work hard enough for you to give me this money. Like, I guess I pride myself on wanting to give as much value as I possibly can. And if I haven't reached that threshold of value that I feel like you should get, then don't give me anything. And I totally get it, and I think that's a good I think that's a good business practice. You should always aim to give as much value as you can to those that you're serving. But I'm also seeing that I need to sustain myself. For instance, I feel like a part of me just wasn't super confident in creating spaces where I could actually charge a premium for the experience that I wanted to create, because I didn't really feel like I could provide enough value to ask for that exchange. And it's interesting to say it because I can feel some of the anger within me of like angry at myself for not having faith in myself or not valuing myself enough to, I reach out and make more programs and tell people, oh my god, guys, you should get this. But I guess at this point, instead, I decided to go for an office job every couple hours a week. And I felt safe. And to be honest, it is really interesting. I'm thankful I'm getting the experience because I know everything is for a reason. And I've gotten really good at spreadsheets, let me tell you. I was a noob before, but now I feel like I'm intermediate. So there's that. But yeah, I think that a part of me is learning to value and trust what I have to provide to the world, and to value and trust others and what they are here to provide as well, and see how we can best support each other. Again, I think I know that make generating revenue streams is actually pretty easy. And the more revenue streams you have, just like a spider web, I would say the more stable you are and the easier it is to catch a break or a fly. Free fly. What is that? Anyways, so my relationship with money, it has been transforming. I have been allowing myself to trust that I am going to provide value, and that with every single cent I earn and spend, it does increase the value of my life and is a direct investment for the world I want to see. There were a couple subscriptions that I cut back in, and to be honest, I also had to take out my Bitcoin to help pay for school, which sounds such just Gen Z obnoxious first world problems. Like, so thankful that I made that investment, 3 years ago in Bitcoin, because that at the time I put like $15, and it was like what, 100% increase, and it was like 150, and I was like, oh my gosh, wish I put in more. But no, that was really cool, and a blessing to kind of see that, oh, that's cool, the world does that. My relationship with money, I still feel like I am trying to allow myself to be nourished by doing what I love and serving others in the way that I feel I will serve people best. And so that doesn't mean a desk job. And to be frank, though, I do feel like it is serving people, and I'm serving them the best way I can. So let me not cross it out. I think that, yeah, it is doing what I intend to do. And I think that there are bigger things. And when I say bigger, I guess there's more people that I would like to help directly by creating things that help them. And I'm somebody who likes to create things. I'm somebody who likes to communicate my mind and connect with those who are resonating on a similar level, and amplifying that and spreading those good vibes of love, of light, of joy, of peace. Yeah, I think that's important. My relationship with money is something that I realize I have control over. I've been kind of trying to talk myself not really out of getting tickets to go to San Francisco at the end of the month for a event, like kind of workshop. Yeah, it's a workshop. And I know that it'll be a great networking experience, and I have qualified for it, and I'm young, and young people don't usually have old money unless they come from an old money family. So I have some money, and I'm thinking of spending pretty much all of it to do this, and my body feels pretty okay with this thought. And in the past, I think I would feel really tense of being like, Esther, what do you mean? Are you really thinking straight? Girl, what, how you doing this? But, I guess because I've been taking account of my money and I'm aware of how I spend it, and I have a hunch that this will be a good investment. It doesn't mean that I'm gonna get there and somebody's gonna be like, congratulations, here's $1,000. Good job. I don't expect that at all. But I do expect to gain experiences that I wouldn't be able to gain if I didn't go. And my soul is saying go, so I'm going to listen to it. God is giving me the A-okay, so I know I'm gonna be okay, and that God will find and has provided a way, and will, help me find that way as I continue every day with full faith. So, yeah, when it comes to my relationship with money, I guess I just trust in God for the most part. I don't really worry about the numbers I see in my bank account, though I do track them. I am aware of them because I want to take accountability for this. And I know that there are better things in life to I won't say there are better things, but there are other things in life that I am prioritizing over money. With that being said, money is definitely a great vehicle to do a lot of the things I would like to do. And it does help me not worry about paying the bills so that I can continue to create the things that I'd like to create. So, you know what? Money is a blessing. I feel really thankful that I'm able to donate whatever I can. Like, I don't want to say your girl's been giving away 10% of whatever she makes, but it seems to be that way. And honestly, I don't know how I do it. I don't know where that money goes. I think right now I'm learning a big lesson with money is also treating yourself, okay? Because I was kind of in a habit of like donating money before I put some away for savings, which I think is a little foolish, but I don't know. You can debate me on that. And I wasn't really like, I still kind of hesitate to buy anything for myself. I'm not somebody who goes on shopping sprees or splurges. I find it very hard to buy things for myself. I will generally put it in a cart and wait, unless it's something that I think is a direct investment to better myself, such as a book or a online course. or I'm trying to think of what else, like I guess gas money so I can drive my car and drive my friends and volunteer and commute to places, I guess. Yeah, I don't really spend much money on myself, especially because I feel like the people that I receive money from, I really respect them. And I want, I guess, energetically, them to know that whatever they're giving me is going to a good place. And I know that I need to start working on giving myself a cut of what I'm making. I mean, yeah, I sure am, but like, I guess I want to cut out some things like, when friends are like, hey, let's go here. And I'm like, not really. I already have been doing that. And I'm very proud of myself for being like, actually, no, I don't really want to go to this concert because it doesn't really resonate with me. But thank you so much. No, I don't actually want to go to the bar, but be safe. Um, kind of learning that I can still invest in myself without indulging with friends, if that makes sense. Like, I want to get a pair of wireless headphones for the past like almost 6 months. And I've keep on telling myself, like, oh, I'm gonna do it like when I get my first paycheck from this office job. Oh, I'm gonna do it once I finish paying tuition. Oh, I'm gonna do it like after I buy everyone's Christmas presents. And I kind of just like put it in the back burner. And of course, this is like not a necessity. It's something that I would really like to have. And I guess I'm seeing that these like little things that I think I value right now, again, my relationship with money, I'm just realizing that I don't think I really value myself enough to give myself some of the things I kind of want. Okay, Esther. But with that being said, I think you're doing okay. Like, I don't want to go to the world of splurging. I've done that before. I bought a whole bunch of markers. I mean, I use them because I love markers. I love creating art. But it was a lot of markers. It was like 200, 180 markers. And I use them. And I love markers. I love markers. That is the one thing that I will splurge on. And I don't anymore because I have so many markers. And my mom said you should use everything you have before you get more. And I agree with her. So yeah, I guess my relationship with money. Now, the vice president of my school said something really interesting. We were talking about like Christmas, and he was like, you should always get yourself a present first because that sets the tone for the gift giving season. And I thought that was really interesting, and I kind of thought about it. I don't. Yeah, I was taught that you don't, because it's like it's not for you. It's a gift giving season. But then I'm realizing that I am a person, and I know what I want, and maybe I should give myself a little bit of what I want. So I didn't do it first thing, but I did give myself some cool new things, such as an Apple Pencil tip replacement for my Apple Pencil, because I really have been drawing a lot and it grounded down, so that was wonderful. Yeah, and period pads that are eco-friendly. Gosh, too much information. Okay, I feel like these are kind of necessities. I find it hard to like invest in non-essential things, I guess, that I don't feel like are essential. But at the end of the day, is anything really essential? Even the clothes on our backs could be debatable. Like, let's be honest. So that's why I don't buy clothes. Oh my gosh. Wow, okay. So yeah, I think that's more consumerism. I'm not like a consumer. I don't really like to consume, but I do think that there's a good balance when it comes to understanding your relationship with money. Do you see yourself, if you had like a lot of money, like buying a whole bunch of stuff, or do you see yourself creating things with what the money that you have, because your needs are met and you're able to explore other opportunities that are open to you because you have the free time to and you have the resources to. So I think for me right now, I'm understanding that my relationship with money is tied to my relationship with time. I don't like working for other people. I don't like it because I feel like they're taking my time to work on their things. And I get it. That's cool and all. It's a part of the human existence. And we pay people to make our lives easier and more efficient, which is why I'm okay with the hours that I'm working at right now. But a part of me also feels sometimes, in my experience with working with people, I'll never forget, I was working for a beauty supply warehouse that lists things on eBay. So I got really good at listing beauty supplies on eBay, by the way. And now whenever I see any beauty product like perfume, shampoo, deodorant, whatever it is, like reading the labels, your girl has it down pat, okay? Not to brag or anything. But I remember in the beginning, I am a person that makes a lot of typos, and you could call it because I'm dyslexic or whatever, but really it is what it is. And I would be honestly looking at the time and thinking, well, I want to provide the most value to this person, so I'm going to try to go as quickly as I can and list as many items as I can, because keep in mind, I would get into this room and it would just be hundreds of unlisted beauty supply items, and I would think, oh my gosh, I need to get through as many as I possibly can, as quickly as I can, to provide the most value. What ended up happening is that I made a crap ton of typos, and they ended up calling me and saying, this is really bad. Like, were you drunk or on drugs? I was not. I was completely sober. But they were like, then they had to go and fix every single one that I did because I made so many typos. And so I learned that it's not, and she like reminded me, it's, you're getting paid by the hour. Take as long as you need. You are getting paid by the hour. She was telling me this. The person that was paying me by the hour was telling me, take as long as you need to do it. And so I understood that I wasn't really rushing for her. I was rushing for me. I wanted to get through a box so that I felt accomplished and I felt like I spent my time well, and I could leave maybe earlier because I finished my load earlier. And so I wasn't really thinking about the money. I was thinking about my time. But I've learned that when you get paid by the hour, yeah, it's okay. Sometimes I feel like I twiddle my thumbs a little bit. And I'm just kind of watching the clock, waiting for time to clock out. So there's that. And it's not a really nice feeling because time is the thing I value most. But it's tied with my relationship with money right now. And I think that a big part of me resents that. Feels like when I invest time on myself, which is like the best thing ever, it's great, but like nobody's gonna pay me for that. But they will pay me for the skills that I have invested in learning. And so that's why it's so important to invest that time. Relationship with money. Let's wrap this up, shall we? I've learned that I don't have to worry about money in terms of will I be taken care of. God has made it quite clear that yes, I will. Does that mean I won't have hardships? Nah. But as long as I have faith and I allow myself to work through whatever doubt I have, whatever I feel that is causing me to feel tension and dis-ease, I can allow myself to release it. Thank you. Yes. And by releasing this expectation, I can kind of allow myself to flow and know that, yeah, I will have the resources. I'm also learning that, yeah, I can receive money. If I want to receive more money, then there are many ways to do so. Some of the ones that I wouldn't suggest are logging into somebody's Amazon account or Nintendo games to sell. No, I think that there are lots of ways to make money. That, like, the other day, I learned that there are indoor landscapers. That means that they go to offices to water their plants. They get paid to professionally water a plant and prune it. They are a professional plant waterer for indoor plants. Like, that's a thing. You can rent a friend. You can be a friend to rent. It's just so somebody new in town has a friend that they can, talk to and understand the town that they're in. Like, this is the things that are out there. You can make more money. You can receive more. And for me, I realized that I had this blockage of shame when it came to asking others, what can I do to serve you so that you can pay me? And asking people for payment is another thing. I felt ashamed. I'm working with a client on web design and I feel nervous to invoice them. Even though we both know the invoice is coming, I still hesitate to do it because I feel like I haven't provided enough value to do it yet, which is, you should always invoice first when you're doing design work because you want to get at least half up front. That way they won't chicken out when you finish the project and, dine and dash, you could say. So there's that, but it's hard when you feel like you're not worth it. And that's what it comes down to. And I'm ashamed to say that I don't feel like, honestly, I'm worth it. I don't feel like my skills are all that worth it. But at the same time, I know deep in my heart that there's a reason why I want to do the things I want to do. And there's a reason why I serve people the way that I serve them. And I deeply appreciate and honor the fact that God made me this way and gave me these skills and allowed me to invest so much time, energy, money, resources, just my life force into cultivating these things so that I can help others. And so there's that. And I think I'm not going to push that everybody pay me money, or else that means you don't value me. because that's ridiculous. There are so many ways to show you that you value someone. As in, you spend time, like you spent time listening to this very long video. And I really appreciate and value you and honor you and just thank you for being here and listening. That is so valuable to me for so many reasons. Like, what the heck? You really listened to this rant? That's crazy. And I really appreciate you for doing it. Give a thumbs up if you're still out here so I know it's you. But also, there are lots of ways that you can provide value to others. And money is just one of them. It is no higher, it is no lower. Although you could debatably say that technically, like, paper and coins aren't that valuable per se. Like, what are you gonna do with this? Maybe you could use it as a Phillips head. Maybe. Maybe you can melt it down and create a ring, and then, yeah, I'm not gonna get into it, but yeah. So, my relationship with money is healing. And it's at a point where I feel comfy sharing this information with you because I think we're at a stage in life and with the world where we have to acknowledge some of the shame we may have about how we spend money or how we make money or just how we feel about money. If it's something that we feel a lot of tension and trauma around, then let's acknowledge that together so that we can help alleviate it and kind of see it for what it is. A joke. A joke, an inside joke that only humans get. And that's it. So, I'm oddly thankful that I've had my fair share of trials and tribulations when it comes to understanding abundance. And I'm excited to see what we can create when we clear the fear around this idea of money. And we can see it for what it is and take it down from that pedestal that many people seem to idolize it on. And see it as a wonderful tool that can help us and directly show what we are spending our time and our energy on, because that's where our money goes. So I hope that this encourages you to look at your spending habits. That's a big reflection, and you should be accountable for these because I think that's where it all starts, That's where the relationship with money starts. Well, I guess it starts with God and in your heart, and okay, you get the point. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video. We're gonna get better. I promise you. God bless. Namaste.